This is Coffee, Country, and Cody.
And this is the radio and television equivalent of today's Americana Joy Jam. Coffee, Country, and Cody Joy Jam. I love that phrase. Though Charlie's wife on occasion says you are a what?
I'm a joy sucker, or I actually like Kelly's version of me better, the fun sponge.
Fun sponge.
Yes. Or sometimes she'll just say, you are so Portuguese, which I didn't realize was a thing, but apparently it must be. Good morning.
And I will quote Gretchen Wilson. We're just here for the party, okay?
Yeah.
Americana Fest and more. I'm Bill Cody. That's Kelly Sutton. Charlie Mattos. Annie Nye, our studio director. Rock solid Jeff Roberts is in master control upstairs here from the Acuff House on the Grand Ole Opry Plaza. And I mentioned the Americana Joy Jam. Matt Axton, and he posted the best picture we'll talk about of his grandmother, Mae Boren Axton, and Elvis on Instagram this morning. You might want to check that out.
Wow.
But he will be here. Nikki Lane is going to join him, and they're playing the Joy Jam this afternoon at 6 o'clock at the Nashville Palace.
That's going to be fun. I mean, All Things with Americana Music Festival have taken over the city.
Mm-hmm.
So if you are here, then go out and enjoy, because there's going to be live music just everywhere.
And you were telling me we're getting another venue off the air a little bit ago. I know you're going to talk about it later. It's like,
Another venue is coming. The Pinnacle is going to open in February, and they've already booked their first acts.
Hey.
So I'll tell you who it is.
because I had to be out yesterday unexpectedly, was coming in like at the heart of rush hour. I-65 southbound at Briley Parkway about 7:30, maybe a quarter to 8. The interstate, isn't that through traffic? Shouldn't the traffic be flowing like through traffic all the time? Just
It's a suggestion.
okay, because the right two lanes at Briley Parkway were at a standstill.
Sure.
They were just sitting there. So what do you call an interstate that doesn't have through traffic?
I-24.
Nashville. A Nashville interstate.
Pick an interstate in Nashville, I-24, I-40, I-65, Briley Parkway.
Right. You were coming in with everybody else.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The heart.
Yeah.
I mean, truly, the heart of rush hour. It
I'm
was
sorry.
maddening.
Well, hopefully anybody that's watching us right now, they are just comfortable wherever they are, and they're not in a car. Don't watch us in a car.
My youngest son was with me. He was riding shotgun. He goes, I have anxiety just riding in this.
Yeah.
Much less, I don't know how you drive in this.
We figured out the other day, so Renee, since the pandemic, has been working from home. And she goes in one day a week, but that's only been the last year, right? And she used to spend at least an hour each way in rush hour. She has gotten back 2,000 hours of her life working from home. Not sitting.
2,000
hours of her life. Yeah. 2 hours a day, 50 a week. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah.
That is crazy. Holy cow. All right. Well, we got a lot to talk about coming up. Miranda Lambert is going to be doing a benefit. We're going to tell you about that concert, where you can go, and you might actually get a dog out of it too. So, I mean, it's a benefit. It's not like the VIP tickets or anything like that, but I'll tell you about that coming up. Also, Jordan Davis, all for the Hall. He was there. It's nightfall for the Hall of Fame. And Zach Top getting ready for 2025. All of that and more in Entertainment Headlines.
Coffee, Country, and Cody. Everybody good?
We're working on it. We got a lot of stuff happening.
Good is a relative term, Bill.
Is everybody in place?
We are here. We are feeling all of the feels, and everything is going on right here in the house. It's
Are you
live
feeling?
TV.
Let me ask you, are you feeling the joy here tonight, ladies and gentlemen? How do you feel the joy?
Come in.
Because we got an Americana Joy Jam, and leading out, Matt Axton and Nikki Lane. Good morning and welcome to Coffee, Country, and Cody.
Good
and
morning.
the new Acuff House studio on the Grand Ole Opry Plaza.
You've been working hard. You built yourself a beautiful house to hang out in.
Well,
we had nothing to do with it.
we actually, since Mr. Acuff was gone, we threw out the old tenants and we just moved in.
Yeah.
Squatters. That's what we are.
Well, you're doing good. You're right here outside the Opry, and I'm sure you meet lots of people all the time. Or do you guys hide right here inside?
That's the idea.
both.
They
That's
get
the
to watch.
idea.
Yeah.
They get to watch.
Because the entrance to the Opry House, as you can see from where you're sitting, is just a few feet away. The Opry shop, for people get their merch, and you get your tickets right there in that box office. So one-stop shopping, and you get to come visit us, just like you guys are for Americana Fest.
When coming in the back door, I couldn't tell where we were at all. You know, it felt very special going by guard shacks and stuff. But now I know. I see the magic in front of me.
We brought you through the Hollywood backlot.
That's
We're
right.
used to that.
See, we
Driving
could tell
down
you
the
to.
do not enter signs.
We could have just said
Yes,
park
at 8 in the morning.
park at the movie theater and walk over, but it's not quite as
it's
special
not as
that
cool.
way. You know.
I agree.
It's not pretty.
So, Matt, I want to start with you. You posted on Instagram this morning your grandmother, Matt Axton, and Elvis Presley, and a great little backstory about a mural in Durant, Oklahoma, which was your dad's birthplace?
Yeah, so Duncan, Oklahoma. Yeah,
Okay.
was his birthplace. And somehow magically, well, not magically, somebody actually did it, but they made a mural on the side of one of these old buildings in the small downtown of my grandma right there when she was giving Elvis the first pressing of Heartbreak Hotel, right, which was his first million seller, which she happened to write. And so I didn't know that existed. I heard somebody, said, pray tell of it, but we went and found it and took pictures in front of it. And there's another Hoyt one too, but we'll get to that next time.
She was an English teacher.
She was a part-time school teacher, English teacher, whatever they needed her to teach, basically.
Yeah.
And then, moonlighted as a songwriter on the side and PR person.
And when did she come to Nashville?
So once Heartbreak Hotel connected,
Yeah.
So that was 1956. I think she made it she beelined right here after that. She's like, this is what I want to do. I have a gift. So
I have an idea of what I think I could do
yes.
when I get there.
And that was mainly like helping people and connecting, artists with the right professional people to help their art grow, and that was her dream.
As I continued to look, they referred to her at one point in time as the Queen Mother of Nashville.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Pretty high honor, huh?
Yeah, and she told everybody that too.
Oh,
She made sure to be like,
so she was a great
yes,
self-promoter?
Yes, I am the Queen Mother, just so you know. If there was a long line at the bank, she's like, by the way, I'm the Queen Mother of Nashville.
So 1997, she passed. How old were you?
I was 13 at the
Okay,
time, so it was
okay.
I was young in that way.
But you also got to know her. You have great, vivid
Yeah,
memories
I mean,
of her.
Nashville was a magical place for me as a kid, because growing up on tour, you're sort of hopping in and out of new places every day. But this was always the home base for my dad's tour. So there was always a distinct, smell in the air. And my grandma lived in Hendersonville on this big, white pillared estate thing. So it just had a very distinct, memory burnt into my brain. And it feels very natural to come back. And I always love coming back here and saying hi.
Where do you live?
I live in evil Los Angeles, California.
Oh, come on. No, we love Los Angeles.
Oh, yeah, we found the
They
good
deliver
part.
sushi to your door.
So, Nikki, the question is, which one of your family members has a picture with Elvis?
Oh, my goodness. My dad has an arrest picture for trying to visit Lori Morgan's house in the 90s. He tried to sell her a song. They still haven't clarified if it was her house or just some poor, unsuspecting woman. But, yeah, we both have country music legacies in our...
I'll give you the punchline. There's a great Hank Snow Farron Young story that involved gunplay and heavy drinking.
Oh.
And the quote worth requoting is, Farron, are you armed? Are you armed?
That was it. Do you know what the song was? Have you heard the song? Have you cut the song?
No, I was actually, though, I am going to start working on my dad's little catalog of music, but in the 90s he went missing, and in South Carolina, and we found out he was up here pursuing country music, and he had taken all the family asphalt paving equipment and was just doing jobs up here.
And your dad's name?
Keith Frady, and he
Okay.
was pursuing country music up here. But sure enough, we have the article of him. And I heard this recently with someone else that got in trouble that they were drinking mouthwash, and that was the excuse he used as to why he was acting so erratic when they got there.
Okay.
It's
Well,
a true story.
what-
I didn't think about it till you teed me up.
Did he show
Yeah.
up with a paving machine to deliver the song?
I think he just showed up I think somebody had told him that Lori Morgan lived somewhere here, and he had just shown up at her house with a bunch of pieces of paper.
Wow.
Which last night, I will tell you guys, I got a manifesto weird situation last night in the mail. I opened an envelope, and it's 16 pages of song titles that someone has sent me in the mail. I've never received anything like this. And then it threatened to sue me if I used any of them.
Oh.
And there's 175 of them. So now I'm not going to look at the piece of paper.
No, you
because
can't.
You know the odds are we will write a song called this.
For sure.
So I'm going to talk to my postman about what he actually lets get through.
Funny you would say that. Jerry Reed, I remember, famously told me that he quit listening to the radio early in his career.
George Harrison, too,
Because
because he got
he said,
sued for a famous Beatles song, and
Yeah.
they had every radio thrown out in the house.
Especially somebody like Jerry Reed, who had the ear. I mean, he was so magical. But he said, I couldn't unhear stuff once
No.
I heard it.
No. Well, I think I either wrote a hit or I'm copying somebody, but I've been walking around singing something the last couple weeks, and I either stole it or it's really good, but I'm not sure.
How do you get it down? Just in the phone immediately, or?
You're supposed to do that. They say that you're supposed to do that, but I say that if it's good, it stays. So I'll come up with lots of little ideas, and sometimes you got to document them. But if I keep singing something for like a couple weeks,
Yeah.
then it's good, right?
That is good. Yeah.
How do you do it, Matt?
Risking it.
It's similar, right? I mean, thank goodness for voice memos on your phone nowadays. You can get so much stuff very quickly.
Yeah.
But I still like pencil and paper old fashioned. You're like, oh, that was
Oh,
good.
yeah.
That was good. Let me write that
Oh, yeah.
down. And then I mean, there's so many different ways to write a song, but then you can mash up a bunch of random ideas and create something, or something could be like one fluid, thought that comes out if you're really
Do you have a manuscript of your grandmother's Heartbreak Hotel handwritten? Like the original?
We don't have the original one in like the family or anything, but she printed out ones and like gave it to people. Once again, the self-promotion thing like
Yeah.
that, very early on. So, and I'm
wonderful.
still finding legacy stuff from my grandmas and dads all the time when I unbox something randomly at the house. So
Wonderful.
That's Easter eggs. That's great.
it is, yeah, yeah, and it's a lot of storage too. I got to get rid of it.
Well, if you need a sorter, I'll come over. Evil Los Angeles.
Hey, we're headed to the break and back with Matt Axton and Nikki Lane on the other side as we continue and they get ready. There are a lot of things they're doing during the course of Americana Fest, but tonight at 6, it's the Nashville Palace for Americana Joy Jam.
Bill? More coffee, country, and Cody is on WSM.
And a correction, not tonight, but Friday night for Americana Joy Jam. Americana Joy Jam with Matt Axton and Nikki Lane in studio this morning. They'll be playing there, Nashville Palace, at 6 o'clock on Friday as a part of all things Americana. And the week keeps you busy through its entirety, right?
It is never ending. It is never ending. But that's why we came here, to play some music and meet some good people with like-minded people and, spread the joy. That's my default.
Well, your football Sooners, Oklahoma Sooners, where you once played, you played how many seasons?
Oh, 0. But I was going to. I went there and did the whole walkthrough, and my dreams were headed that way, but I decided to pick up a guitar instead.
Well, something Matt and I shared. I went to the University of Miami and also played 0 seasons for them. So I knew we were bonding over something. So.
Semi-pro is
Yeah,
what
exactly.
I call it. Semi-pro.
But you got hurt, didn't you?
Yeah, I ended up hurting my knee, and that's when I picked up a guitar. That's when I sort of seriously, sat down, and I was got surgery, as in a cast for a few months, so I had to learn something, and guitar became my best friend, and that was it.
Do you
That
follow?
is a late bloomer in a musical family.
It is, yeah, because music
I
was just sort of
appreciate that.
around all the time.
Yeah, I appreciate that because it seems to be like very easily inherited.
Yeah, and it came easily once I started doing it, I had friends that learned at the same time that were going like plunking notes, like, how do I do this? And I was like, this is sort of fun and easy. So it felt natural in that way. But, music was not something I really wanted to pursue at the beginning. It was just always there and around. I just thought it was a normal,
That's
natural
probably a
part of
good
life.
thing, I think.
Are you still passionate about Oklahoma Sooner football?
Yeah, we went to a game on the last tour, and, it's fun.
You know who they play Saturday?
I don't know.
In Norman.
Who?
The University of Tennessee Volunteers.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
All right.
It'd be a great matchup, shouldn't it? Yeah. Maybe. Well, what you gonna do first? Who's doing what? Have you guys worked out your set list?
Yeah, we just learned it. We're doing it right now. The name of the show on Friday is the Americana Joy Jam. So Americana Joy is a monthly series that I get to curate out in Los Angeles that sort of brings. We try to do an acoustic songwriter, an out-of-town act, and an in-town act, and try and bring them together every time. So you can do that old-fashioned independent artist sharing of fans and art and all that kind of good stuff. So the joy of that is obviously "Joy to the World," which is my dad's #1 selling tune that he wrote for Three Dog Night. So I think it'd be pretty apropos to do a little quick version of that right now to set the stage.
As we get ready for Kelly Sutton's entertainment update, Charlie, we have a divided #1 between Texas and Georgia, you tell me?
America divided? You jest, certainly. Yeah, the coaches have kept Georgia at #1. The AP voters put Texas ahead of them. So, because Georgia struggled just a little in Lexington.
Did you see the Arch Manning run in Texas' most recent game.
No.
Listen to this. I saw this story. I couldn't believe it. Arch Manning, 67-yard touchdown, was clocked at a speed of 20.7 miles per hour. Would put him in the top 6 elite in the NFL and faster than Tyreek Hill.
Ooh, I'm going to have to YouTube that.
20.7. And Cooper, his daddy, said he got his speed from his mama.
That's good. That's really good.
But and he's second string.
Oh, really?
Because Ewers got hurt and he came in. And everybody's been waiting. When's the moment going to happen? And then he got in, and then he did that.
I think he just got moved up. He may have just got bumped.
Faster than rush hour in Nashville on any morning.
Listen, all you have to do here is say free cake, and I will clock everybody running into the break room.
Put a watch on her.
How fast.
Put a watch on her.
I'm
Watch her
telling
go. Look at that.
That's it.
But to 20.7 miles an hour.
That's crazy fast. Well, let me tell you, if you want to get your tickets to see Miranda Lambert, you're going to have to be almost that fast because she's going to do a special benefit concert. It's going to be this coming October 5th. She just announced it. You know, Postcards from Texas, her album is out, and she said, I'm going to do something special. We are going to do a special show for Mutt Nation's 15th anniversary. Here's how she put it in her own words on social media.
Hey y'all, on October 5th, we are holding a Music from Mutt's benefit concert in Nashville to benefit Mutt Nation Foundation. I have some really good friends come to join me. Hardy, Lucas Nelson, and Jake Worthington is opening the show, and I also have a few surprises up my sleeve. Also, before the show, we are holding special adoption events with a lot of local shelters in Nashville. So come find your forever friend and come celebrate with us.
So if you didn't hear that part, you could get a dog from 4 to 6. You can adopt a dog and then stay and watch Miranda sing after. So a dog and live music, I mean, feels like a win-win. It's happening October 5th, which is our 99th anniversary.
99th birthday of WSM Radio. And Charlie, what was it you said about the lawn seats?
Well, yes, Ascend Amphitheater does have lawn seats, so just be careful.
Yeah.
I've got a doggy bag in every pocket I have with a beagle, so I'll be fine.
You're okay. Yeah. Just careful where you walk, careful where you sit. Make sure that you've got it all plotted out before you get there. Hey, this just came out, and I had to talk about it. So the Pinnacle is a new location. I knew about the Nashville Yards. It's a big building that's happening over at the end of Church Street, and we've been watching it go up for a while now. Well, apparently the amphitheater-style seating area that's going to be there, because it's not an outdoor amphitheater, but an indoor.
And this is not to be confused with the Pinnacle building, the home office building.
This is called, it's the Pinnacle. It's slated now to be open February 28th. I saw one story that said it seats 5,000, another story that says 4,500. So either way, it's about a 4,500 to 5,000 seat venue. It's going to be open February 28th, and they just announced who will be playing. First person to play will be there on March 8th, and it will be the Turnpike Troubadours. They will be opening all of it. Turnpike Troubadours will be first, followed by Journey, March the 12th, and March 14th, T-Pain is going to be there. So all of that, take it for what you will. If you're coming into town and you want to see something, we're going to have a new place that will be open in February.
From WSM Radio, this is Coffee, Country, and Cody.
Kelly Sutton, talk like you do at the Grand Ole Opry and set it up for tonight.
Oh, welcome to the Grand Ole Opry, presented by Humana. Tonight's lineup, we have the Blind Boys of Alabama. Shelley Fairchild will be there. Tyler Hubbard is coming out, all 5'9" of him. Ashley McBride, Charlie McCoy. Midland will be there, as well as Tammy Nielsen and Riders in the Sky.
And I will be there tomorrow night with Dasha.
Love
and
her.
Stage manager Tyler Bryan and I are going to do the choreography on Austin right
Oh,
there
good.
live on
Good.
the stage of the Grand Ole Opry.
Glad. Working on it.
We won't charge you extra. Flatland Cavalry, Jamie Johnson, Jeannie Seeley, Paul Thorne, Rhonda Vincent, Chancey Williams, and our special in-studio guests, they're back. The Shootouts are at the Opry and with us this morning. And as I mentioned earlier and teasing ahead, tonight at Eastside Bowl.
Yeah, yeah, we're always love hanging out in Nashville. We've been here, gosh, I don't know, 3 or 4 times this year already, and whenever we get to come back and see you guys and head to the Opry, be here to represent the state of Ohio for Americana Fest, it's always a good time.
Have you ever thought about relocating, as so many people do once they start spending extra time here?
Yeah, I mean, at some point, I mean, we're all pretty rooted in northeastern Ohio, and it's a really good place to grow up. It's a good place to live. But I also think that
and the winters are mild.
Honestly, they have
They're
been
getting
lately.
more mild.
They have. We hardly had any snow last year. But I would think eventually we'll probably end up with a little pad down here to stop in all the time. But maybe we have some other goals to accomplish before we do that. I think.
Y'all always make us feel at home here, so thank you.
When you come to town, do you seem to fall into the same habits of we're going to 8th and Rose to get our coffee, we're doing this, or do you try something new every time?
Go ahead, you want to?
I think we try to do a lot of the same things. We
Yeah.
always stop at Grimey's and spend too much money on all the things that
He appreciates
we
that.
don't
Shout out
need,
to
but we
Grimey's.
really want. I think we're gonna hit up Mas Tacos today.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So yeah, we kind of have our regular stopping grounds.
One of the things that we almost always do when we're here, and Brian and I are notorious for this, is we'll be like, man, we have a crazy schedule, we have no time, but we are going to stop at 6 guitar stores.
Of course.
We made it to 3rd and Lindsley last night to see the Time Jumpers. So
good.
we got to hit some of the good venues, Roberts.
You might not even have to go to any of the guitar places because George Groon hangs out backstage at most Opry shows and brings like 4 or 5. And he's real quiet about it. You see him walking around and you're like, there's George.
no.
I don't know
And
if we've seen George
he'll
there
walk
yet.
in and he'll just set it down and kind of look at you and open the case.
And every now and then, just for
no.
meanness, I will walk up behind the person who's always an artist
Yeah,
or a
always.
musician. I'll walk up behind them and whisper in their ear, if you'll buy it, he'll go away.
Don't encourage these two.
Which they always kind of sheepishly turn and
Yeah.
grin like, you're right.
You also probably should put a little side note to that,
Yeah.
that they may have to mortgage their house to get some of those
course.
guitars as well.
Yeah. But by name, Ryan Humbert is here, Emily Bates, Brian Poston from the Shootouts on Coffee, Country, and Cody. Honky Tonk Tuesday, East Side Bowl, and then the Opry tomorrow night. What was the George Strait connection? We heard I Crossed My Heart earlier. And Emily, you said, George Strait.
Yeah, we always listen to George Strait every time we're out on the road. And one time we had not for unknown reasons. And we got a flat tire near Kings Island in Ohio. And we're like, well, we messed up. We got to listen to George every road trip.
Gotta put on the king.
When we walked in this morning and George was playing, we knew we were going to have a good day.
Did you just pull over and go in and ride the Beast at that point at Kings Island? Yeah.
We considered it.
We did consider it. And Brian and I had the chance to go see George a few years ago in Indiana, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and
Evansville.
in Evans, and it was a real small arena. He's typically playing,
Yeah.
football stadiums, and we got to see him in a place that holds, I think, 5,000 or 6,000 people. It was a special event, and Asleep at the Wheel, our dear friends, opened for him. Just an incredible night. So
good.
And how did this band from northeastern Ohio that you referenced earlier, your home base, take on this right out of heart of Texas persona along the way, musically and visually, fashion, the whole thing?
Sure. So Brian and I met, and we kind of bonded over the fact that we both grew up listening to a lot of traditional-based country music. Not just, at the time it was a lot of 90s country, but even before that, he's a huge Conway Twitty fan, and I'm a huge, fan of Johnny Cash, and just on and on. And it just felt natural. Like for a year, we said we should just go out and play some of this music we love. And it was meant to be a side project. That was it.
So what were you doing individually?
More singer-songwriter type stuff. Brian was playing with different bands, and I was just doing more. Emily and I were still singing together, but different types of music. And but this was really, I think, where my heart was. And for a long time, I think Em can attest to this too. I would kind of I was almost scared to say no, I love country. And finally, I got to a point where I just thought, I don't care. I want to go do what I love. And we started this band, and it was at our very first show. And I thought, man, we're onto something here. It just felt right. It felt real. It felt like all the stuff that we grew up with, all the music that we love was just right there. And so that was it. And it's been, this year we are celebrating 9 years. We have our 4th record in the can that'll be out next year, early next year, with special guests Vince Gill, Rodney Crowell, Sam Bush, Mickey Raphael. And we're just honored that we get to keep doing this. I mean, I was just talking to another artist this week about the feeling of imposter syndrome, right? And they were saying like, man, I still feel weird when I go do this or go do that. And I said, I think that's a good thing. I think it's okay to have a little bit of that humbleness. I mean, if you walk in and you say, I deserve to be there, you probably don't.
You know, I heard Vince say that when he did that first Eagles show.
Yeah.
I want to say Dodger Stadium. Is that right, Charlie?
Yeah, they did the two out in California, Dodger Stadium, and then Pac Bell at the time, the home of the Giants.
Yeah, and he said, it was nice to be nervous again.
Yeah, yeah, and it is nice. I mean, I think if that ever goes away, I don't know if that's a good thing. I think it's okay to stay grounded and realize that you're lucky to be doing this. I mean, we could all be out doing a lot worse things, but we get to make music that we love.
Yeah, I wonder when he was standing there with Roy Acuff at his Opry debut, this close. Acuff standing right here as Vince was singing When I Call Your Name.
Well,
If he was more nervous then of the first Eagles show.
Well, the last time we played the Opry, Vince was there, and that's about how we felt. That we were just like, I can't believe Vince is in the dressing room next door to us, and we got to talk to him, and of course, the nicest guy on earth, and just still we're like, that happened. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you get Jamie Johnson this time.
Yes, we are so excited.
Pretty excited about that too. Yeah.
That's going to be
Well, we're going to feature you with Raul Malo. Tell us about that friendship and working relationship, and never need anyone more.
Yeah, I've had the opportunity we've opened for him a handful of times and got to know him throughout the years. And my mom was a huge Mavericks fan. I'm going to get choked up here. She was a big Mavericks fan, and the reason I'm a Mavericks fan is because of her. And she was going through breast cancer treatment in 2016, and maybe a little before that even. And we went up to see the Mavericks, and he just treated her so great, so kindly. And
he's dealing with it right now.
Yeah, he's dealing with it as well. And it was such a memorable night for us. And my mom passed away in 2018 unexpectedly. And I look back now and I say, man, I wish she could be here to see this, because she was such a big fan, and she's why I'm a fan. And here we are, years later, and Raul's on the record with us. So it means a lot.
Well, the beauty is we don't know but what she can.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, she's around. I think she's around.
More coffee, country, and Cody is on WSM.
Thank you to Matt Axton and Nikki Lane for coming by this morning. And Friday, 6 o'clock, Americana Joy Jam. But they're doing a lot of other things this week. But that event, they are together. Matt's latest single is Crazy City, and Nikki's most recent album. She debuted at the Grand Ole Opry back in 2014. Her last album was Denim and Diamonds a couple of years ago. And we just finished our visit with the Shootouts, who are on their way to the Opry tomorrow night, but playing East Side Bowl tonight for Honky Tonk Tuesday. Kelly?
Yeah, we're talking all about Brooks and Dunn, y'all. You think they're done? They are not done. The reboot of the reboot. I feel like at some point we are living in a facsimile of what we've already lived once before, right? Like, is this...
They think we're not catching on.
We know what you're doing.
That's right.
And that's okay.
You have both run out of money. Janine told Ronnie.
Go to work.
Look, the checkbook. Look, right here.
Get out there and
get to work, mister.
And you know what they said? They said, we really like our old songs, and we would like to hear what other people would do with our old songs. So if you remember, the first reboot came out in 2019, and this was, Brooks and Dunn doing their songs reimagined with a lot of current country artists, including Luke Combs. Uh-huh. That was the leadoff single for that. So they liked it so much, they're doing it twice. Here it comes again. This one is Reboot 2. Here's what they had to say about it. Ronnie said, the premise of this project is no rules. For this one, we purposely loosened the screws and turned them loose to do whatever they wanted. We actually went way off the rails, but in a very good way. And then Kick said, this project is a lot more out of bounds. Artists are going, would it be okay if I did this? And we're like, yeah, let's do it. We dealt with rock bands and blues bands and all kinds of genres. It's all over the place. So if you like Brooks and Dunn music, you are going to love this. It comes out November 15th. Included on there, Lainey Wilson doing Play Something Country. How about that? They've got Neon Moon with Morgan Wallen. They've got Rock My World, Little Country Girl with the Marcus King Band.
Oh, wow.
Which is going to be phenomenal. And I mentioned How Long Gone with Earls of Leicester, and you pointed out that one of the writers,
Sean Camp,
wrote How Long Gone.
He and John Scott Sherrill, and so it has come full circle for him, for sure.
Let's talk about Jelly Roll. He was at the Emmys. Guys, this was the surprise I didn't see coming. So if you watch the Emmy Awards, he actually performed, and it was the sweetest segment, and he had the sweetest sentiment about how music really heals anybody that's going through something. And then he performed his song, I Am Not Okay. Well, let me just tell you, he was on the red carpet and they said, what do you think about this? He said, it's crazy. I want to be on a TV show now so I can come here every year. I'm calling all my country music friends and telling them we're missing the mark, dude. We got to be at the Emmys.
But you have to be Emmy nominated. Does he know this?
I don't know. I put nothing past the power of Jelly Roll.
If you're an Emmy nominee, put Jelly as a +1.
Please. He loves being there. I told you he was mayor of Stagecoach, and now he is one of the headliners of Stagecoach this coming year. So if anybody can campaign themselves into a position, it is Jelly Roll. So Jelly Roll for the Emmys, the 77th Emmys, which is next year. Zach Top just announced he has some really special dates coming up in 2025. He's out right now with Lainey Wilson. So he is learning from the absolute best, the entertainer of the year. He's opening up for her. But come 2025, he's going to be doing 13 headlining dates of his own, including a stop at the Ryman Auditorium and Tulsa's legendary Cain's Ballroom. Pre-sales start today, so if you're a member of the pre-sale club, you can get in on that. General public gets their shot on Friday. And if you want to hear a little bit of his breakthrough hit, Sounds Like the Radio, here you go.
Call me a walking, talking jukebox. I keep the hits spinning non-stop. Something about a steel guitar, moaning the blues makes me want to throw back a case or two. They say honky.
Cold Beer and Country Music is the name of the tour. That's also the name of his debut album. I really like Zach Top. He's also up for New Artist of the Year at November's CMA Awards.
Now that is 90s country right down the middle, isn't it?
I mean, and that's every song that he has that sound to it. He really is bringing it back, and I absolutely love him. Hey, Miranda Lambert announced something really special that she's got planned for November the 5th. Now, she just dropped her new album, Postcards from Texas. She did a pop-up show at her place, Casa Rosa. That was on Sunday, and then she took to social media so that she could tell us all about this upcoming benefit show happening October the 5th. Take a listen.
Hey y'all, on October 5th, we are holding a Music from Mutts benefit concert in Nashville to benefit Mutt Nation Foundation. I have some really good friends come to join me. Hardy, Lucas Nelson, and Jake Worthington is opening the show, and I also have a few surprises up my sleeve. Also, before the show, we are holding special adoption events with a lot of local shelters in Nashville. So come find your forever friend and come celebrate with us.
Okay, think about this day. You go at 4 o'clock to Ascend Amphitheater. You play with puppies. You find one that you want to adopt. So you adopt your new furry friend, and then you hang out and you watch Miranda Lambert play the rest of the night. I mean, that's the perfect day.
And somebody bring a cake because it's WSM's 99th birthday, October the 5th, 1925.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe cupcakes would be more portable. And, they could do doggy cupcakes.
Yeah.
You could have doggy cupcakes with 99 on them. Get your dog, get your music, all in one stop shop.
That's Kelly Sutton Entertainment. This is Coffee, Country, and Cody. All over the world on WSM Radio. We're talking about the King at Kyle, 109,000 and change to set that record a while back. And he closes the show this morning on Coffee, Country, and Cody. Don't make me come over there and get a hold of you.
No, make